220 years ago, Meriwether Lewis and William Clark were in the middle of their epic journey from St. Louis to the Pacific Ocean and back. On the return, they separated, each to pursue different goals. Lewis went north. The mission of Clark was to map the Yellowstone and rendezvous with Lewis, where the Yellowstone joins the Missouri. July 1806. William Clark is at the Missouri headwaters and headed for the Yellowstone River. He's accompanied by Sacagawea, who 6 years prior had been captured by an enemy tribe at the Three Forks and taken 600 miles east when she was about 12 years old. Now Sacagawea is in her homeland, and the group of 14 people and 50 horses follows the Gallatin River east. Clark is making journal entries and maps along the way. Using Clark's maps and journals, we can follow their route. Combined with today's landscape, we can share the experience. This is a copy of Clark's impressively accurate and detailed map, drawn over the course of 3 days. On July 13, they camped near today's Logan, Montana. On July 14, they camp at the mouth of Kelly Canyon near Bozeman, Montana. On the 15th, they attain the Yellowstone River. Seeing today's Flathead Pass, Clark notes buffalo roads radiating from the mountains to the valley floor. He considers this as a possible route. I observe several leading roads which appear to pass to a gap of the mountains about 18 or 20 miles distant. The Indian woman, who has been of great service to me as a pilot through this country, recommends a gap in the mountains more south, which I shall cross. Clark adds that Sacagawea informed me that there was a large road passing through this low plain from Madison's River, through the gap which I was steering my course to. Sacagawea is providing intimate landscape information that has been passed to her over the course of generations. The party goes up the hills that include Lindley and Burke Parks in Bozeman, Montana. Clark is looking backward and taking compass bearings at where he has come from for purposes of mapping, and forward to where she recommends. Remember, when Sacagawea was here 6 years prior, she was essentially a child, and there are multiple buffalo roads. Yet she knows which is best and where they should go to get past the Bridger-Gallatin Mountain Divide. They proceed up today's Rocky Creek, then camp at the mouth of Kelly Canyon. The following day, cross Jackson Creek and head over Bozeman Pass. While today's Bozeman Pass road cut is incised into the slope, it's easy to imagine the original topography Clark encountered. Note that the road crest is high enough to conceal the other side. They're approaching the ridge on horseback. As they do, they must have felt a sense of anticipation. What will they see on the other side? They break the crest, and suddenly the Absaroka Peaks are in view. The party is now heading down slope on multiple buffalo roads. Imagine a network of wide, intertwining dirt trails. They continue on an open landscape that has been traveled by bison and native people for thousands of years. They proceed down the gentle gradient to the Yellowstone River. Clark knows he's on the western edge of the plains. The Absaroka mountain range is on their right. There's no more mountains to cross, and he simply has to follow the river to his rendezvous with Lewis. Very shortly, Clark describes immense numbers of buffaloes, elks, and their constant companions, wolves. So what is the difference between those people of the past from multiple differing cultures and us today? In the past, people's lives followed a landscape continuum. Familiarization with landscape was a simple fact of life, one which was reflexive, constant, and never forgotten. Eventually, Clark creates a master map of his 8,000-mile journey. His map is accurate within 50 miles. Clark even includes his route over Bozeman Pass. Numerous people refer to Clark as a genius as a mapmaker. Clark was exceptional. But Native Americans were often chronicled as having uncanny observational skills. Accurate spoken transfer of geographic information was common. Years later, John Coulter, former member of the Lewis and Clark expedition, was able to describe to Clark his foray through what was to become Yellowstone National Park. Jim Bridger is another example. He knew the West intimately, was thought to have a photographic memory, and he couldn't read and write. On the other hand, John Bozeman is an exception. He got lost leading a wagon train to his namesake town. Bozeman was a greenhorn who did not have this sense of landscape familiarity. In general, we have lost our connection to landscape. Sometimes we block our own view. We certainly can't see distant views from inside buildings. We use technology at speeds over distances that do not encourage landscape intimacy. What does this mean for us? Just as our natural habitats are fragmented, so is our relationship with the world on which we live and depend. These people from the past provide lessons that we can apply to our lives today. Our history is intertwined with landscape. In an open landscape like Montana, we can often see it. Natural awareness, like landscape awareness, is a skill, and it can be developed. We can look far and distant, or near and close. It can help us anticipate change over time, or the movements of individual animals on a particular day. Natural awareness helps us better understand our human and wildlife relationships. Where do animals bed, migrate, or feed? What habitats are worthy of protection or restoration? It reveals an interactive ecology of community that is mutually beneficial. If we like, we can recreate these connections that anchor us within place and enhance our experiences, our lives, and our communities.